Oakland, California, 1964. A martial arts gym in the heart of Chinatown. The smell of sweat, varnished wood, and incense fills the air. It's a Tuesday afternoon, and sunlight streams through the high windows, creating beams of light that slice through the dimness of the space. This is Bruce Lee's International Kung Fu Institute, a place where millennia-old Chinese traditions meet modern American curiosity. Bruce stands in the center of the mat, demonstrating a sequence of movements to 6 students. His feet glide across the floor with absolute precision. Every gesture is economical, direct, devoid of unnecessary flourishes. He isn't teaching choreography, he is teaching efficiency. He is teaching how to dismantle an opponent using the minimum energy and the maximum anatomical knowledge. The gym door bursts open. 3 men enter. The one in the middle is Victor Braddock, undefeated heavyweight, 23 wins, 23 knockouts, 0 losses, 1 meter 95 tall, 105 kilos of muscle built through years of brutal training. He is accompanied by his trainer, a gray-haired man whose face bears the marks of decades in the boxing world, and by a cameraman carrying a 16mm film camera. Bruce stops the class. He looks at the 3 men. There is no surprise on his face, only calm attention. The students instinctively step back, forming a semicircle around their master. Braddock walks to the center of the mat with the arrogance of someone who has never been defeated. His steps are heavy, deliberate. He stops 3 meters from Bruce and crosses his arms over his chest. "You're Bruce Lee," he says, his voice echoing through the gym. The guy everybody talks about, the martial arts master, the man who supposedly can knock someone out before they blink. Bruce doesn't reply. He just observes, waiting. Braddock smiles, a humorless smile, loaded with contempt. "I came here because I'm tired of hearing these stories, tired of seeing you in movies, flying around with invisible wires, throwing punches that make noise but don't hurt anybody. You're pure fiction, Lee. Cinema, Chinese theater. Not real. You've never stepped into a real ring, never faced a real fighter. Everything you do is dance and camera tricks." The silence that follows is thick. Bruce's students exchange nervous glances. The cameraman adjusts his equipment, making sure it's recording. Braddock's trainer stays near the door, arms crossed, watching. Bruce finally speaks. His voice is low, controlled. "You came all the way here to insult me, or do you want something more?" Braddock takes a step forward. "I came here to expose you, to show the world that your martial arts don't work against a real fighter. I brought a camera. Let's make this filmed. You and me. No rules, no protection. First clean hit that lands, wins. If you knock me out, I'll publicly admit I was wrong. But when I knock you out, and I will knock you out, everyone will see that Bruce Lee is a fraud." Bruce remains motionless. His eyes study Braddock with the same intensity he uses to study an opponent before a fight. He sees the tension in the boxer's shoulders, the weight distribution slightly forward, the clenched jaw. He sees a man who came here to destroy a reputation, a man who completely underestimates what he is about to face. "You brought a camera," Bruce says. "You want this documented." Braddock thumps his chest with his fist. "I want the whole world to see. I want everyone to know I unmasked the great Bruce Lee." Bruce nods slowly. "All right. But when you fall, and you will fall, this footage will prove only one thing, that you understand nothing about real fighting." The cameraman sets up the equipment. The 16mm camera is mounted on an improvised tripod made of equipment crates. The angle captures the center of the mat, where the 2 men are about to face off. The lighting isn't ideal. The windows create backlighting. Shadows dance across the walls. But the camera is rolling, capturing 24 frames per second. Bruce's students are instructed to step back. They move to the edges of the space, forming a circle of witnesses. No one speaks. The only sound is the soft hum of the camera and the controlled breathing of the 2 combatants. Braddock removes his leather jacket. Underneath, he wears a white t-shirt that reveals the muscles of his chest and arms. He begins to stretch, rolling his shoulders, swinging his arms. His fists are enormous, each one the size of a hammer. He clenches and unclenches his hands repeatedly, pumping blood into the muscles. This is the ritual of a man who has spent his entire life breaking jaws and cracking ribs. Bruce doesn't stretch. He doesn't need to. His body is already ready. 30 years of daily training, starting at age 5. 10,000 punches per day. 100,000 kicks per year. Meditation, flexibility, explosiveness, precision. His body isn't a weapon. It's an instrument tuned for a single purpose: to neutralize threats with maximum efficiency. Braddock assumes a boxing stance, high guard, chin protected behind the left shoulder, right fist loaded beside the jaw. His feet move lightly, keeping him balanced, ready to explode in any direction. This is the stance of a champion. A man who mastered the art of pugilism through blood, sweat, and countless rounds in the ring. Bruce assumes no stance at all. He stands naturally, relaxed, hands by his sides, feet slightly apart. To anyone unfamiliar with martial arts, he looks completely unprepared. He looks vulnerable. But his students know better. They recognize the stillness before the storm, the emptiness that precedes action. Braddock frowns. That's your fighting stance? Lee, you're not even defending yourself. Bruce doesn't answer. He just waits. Braddock shakes his head, incredulous. You're going to regret this. The boxer advances. It isn't a reckless advance. It's calculated, measured. He closes the distance in 2 quick steps and throws an exploratory jab. A straight punch, fast, designed to test reflexes. The fist cuts through the air toward Bruce's face. And it doesn't connect. Bruce moved his head. Not a large movement, just 5 centimeters to the left, the minimum necessary. Braddock's punch passes through the empty space where Bruce's nose had been a fraction of a second earlier. Braddock blinks, surprised. He pulls his arm back and tries again. Another jab, faster this time. Then another. 3 punches in rapid succession, all designed to land. All with enough force to break an ordinary man's nose. Bruce evades all 3. Not by blocking, not by parrying with his arms, simply by not being there when the punches arrive. His torso ripples like water. His head moves in minimal angles. Each evasion is economical, precise. He spends 0 energy while Braddock burns reserves with every missed punch. Frustration appears on the boxer's face. He increases the intensity. Combinations now. Jab, cross, hook, left, right, left. He's using techniques that have knocked out professional fighters. He's applying speed and power that would win fights in any ring in the country. And Bruce continues to evade, continues to not be there, continues to look completely relaxed while deadly punches pass centimeters from his face. The camera captures it all. 24 frames per second. But even that frame rate is insufficient to truly capture the speed of the evasions. Bruce's movements are so subtle, so perfectly timed, that they seem impossible. Braddock is breathing heavily now. 15 punches thrown, 0 connected. Sweat begins to form on his forehead. His combinations are becoming wilder, less controlled. Frustration is replacing technique. He throws a powerful uppercut, putting his entire body weight into the blow. Bruce slides back. 30 centimeters. The uppercut slices through empty air. Braddock is off balance now. His momentum has carried him too far forward. His guard is open. For a fraction of a second, he is completely exposed. And Bruce attacks. There is no visible preparation, no arm retraction, no change in stance. One moment he is still. The next, his right fist is traveling in a straight line toward Braddock's solar plexus. The distance covered is 60 centimeters. The time elapsed is impossible to measure precisely. Less than 1/5 of a second, perhaps less than 1/10. The impact produces a sound that everyone in the gym hears clearly. It isn't the muffled thud of a boxing glove. It's a dry, precise snap, the sound of bone and muscle meeting target exactly with concentrated force. Bruce's fist connects precisely where the sternum meets the diaphragm, the point where all the nerves controlling breathing converge. The effect is instantaneous. Braddock's eyes widen, his mouth opens. He tries to inhale and cannot. The diaphragmatic spasm is total. His entire body locks up. The legs that supported 105 kilos of muscle a second ago simply stop working. Braddock falls. He doesn't stagger back like a boxer who's been hit. He doesn't reel. He simply collapses. First the knees, then the hands on the floor, then completely prone. He is conscious. He is aware of what happened. But he cannot make his body obey commands. He cannot breathe. He cannot get up. He can only lie there, desperately trying to make his lungs work again. The silence in the gym is absolute. Bruce's students are open-mouthed. Braddock's trainer runs to the center of the mat, kneeling beside his fighter. He rolls Braddock onto his side, helping him find a position that eases breathing. Breathe, kid. Slowly. Breathe. The camera keeps rolling, keeps capturing everything. the undefeated boxer on the floor. Bruce Lee standing, hand back by his side, expression calm. The trainer trying to help. The students in shock. It takes 30 seconds for Braddock to start breathing again. Short, irregular, painful breaths. He coughs, spits. His face turns red, then pale. He rolls onto his side, trying to sit up. The trainer helps him into a seated position. Braddock is trembling. Humiliated. Defeated. The cameraman stops recording. He looks at Braddock's trainer, uncertain. The trainer shakes his head. "We're not using this," he says, voice low. "This will never air." The cameraman nods, beginning to disassemble the equipment. Bruce approaches. He kneels in front of Braddock, looking into the boxer's eyes. "You said I was fiction," Bruce says calmly. "Said my techniques were camera tricks. Said I'd never faced a real fighter." Braddock looks at him, still struggling to breathe normally. Bruce continues. "Martial arts aren't about being stronger. They're about knowing the human body better than your opponent, about finding the points where strength doesn't matter, where size doesn't matter. You're a great boxer, maybe the best in your division. But there are things boxing doesn't teach, things that only 1,000 years of martial tradition understand." Braddock closes his eyes. When he opens them again, something different is there. Not anger, not shame, respect. He extends his hand. Bruce shakes it. "I'm sorry," Braddock murmurs. "I was wrong." The trainer helps Braddock to his feet. The boxer is still unsteady, leaning on the trainer's shoulder. They walk slowly toward the door. The cameraman follows, carrying the equipment. Before leaving, the trainer looks back at Bruce. "That footage," he says. Bruce shakes his head. "It will never go public," Bruce completes. "This stays between us." The trainer nods, grateful. The door closes. Bruce returns to the center of the mat. His students immediately surround him, all talking at once. "Master, that was incredible. How did you do that?" "He didn't even see the strike coming." Bruce raises his hand, asking for silence. "What you saw today," he says, "wasn't magic. It wasn't a trick. It was the result of training, of understanding, of being completely present in the moment. Braddock is an excellent fighter, but he fought against an idea of me that isn't real. He expected an actor. He found a martial artist. That was his defeat before the first punch." The students absorb the words. Bruce instructs them to resume their positions. The class continues as if nothing had happened, but everyone there knows they witnessed something extraordinary, something they will never forget. The footage was never shown publicly. The 16mm film reel was stored away, hidden, perhaps destroyed. Braddock continued his career, eventually losing his undefeated title in a legitimate fight years later. He never spoke publicly about the encounter in the Oakland gym. Neither did his trainer, nor the cameraman. But Bruce's students did talk. They spread the story. And like all great Bruce Lee stories, it was simultaneously believed and dismissed as legend. Some say it happened exactly like this. Others say it's exaggerated. Still others claim it never happened at all. The truth, as always with Bruce Lee, lies somewhere between the possible and the impossible, between the real and the mythical, between the man and the legend. What we know for certain is this: Bruce Lee dedicated his entire life to perfecting the art of combat. And those who challenged him, those who underestimated the depth of his knowledge and the speed of his execution, learned the hardest way that fiction is sometimes less unbelievable than reality.